Thank you very much, President Gattell. Good evening, Chairman Byrne, President Gattell, members of Bryant's Board of Trustees, distinguished university leaders, deans, and faculty, my fellow members of the class of 2022, family, and friends. It is truly a pleasure to be here at Bryant, celebrating alongside you, welcoming you into the next part of your journey. You already know this, but Bryant does a wonderful job of connecting your academic experience to your professional experience, and that is going to serve you so well for your future success. Believe it or not, those of us in the logistics industry and those of you in the audience have an awful lot in common. I'm sure many days you woke up wondering what in the world is going on here, if you were that polite. I'm sure there were other days you wondered, is this what I signed up for? And I'm sure some of you wondered if you had what it takes to get you through. I assure you, you have what it takes to get through. Sitting here tonight is proof of that, and I am so proud of each and every one of you. The past few years in your world and with mine have been filled with disruption that kept coming at us at 100 miles an hour. It's been a perfect storm in so many ways. Yet here we are, celebrating success, stronger for sure, yet also deeply changed. Your family, your friends, and colleagues will continue to ask you, how did you get through this graduate program under such trying times? They will ask you, how did you adapt to the ever-changing hybrid teaching practices? How did you meet across the nation with your team members for your countless group projects? How did you balance the challenges of pandemic protocols, life, work, schoolwork, and the overwhelming feeling of rowing against the tide? If you don't already know the answers to these questions, I beg you to search for them. Because once you reflect on how you did this, you will be able to pull these strategies when you need them most. And I assure you, you will need them again. There was a period of time at the beginning of the lockdowns where I was asked frequently how I was pivoting, how I was adjusting to all of the disruption. And I would always give a cheeky response at first. And I'd say something like, hey, we're in logistics. We can do anything. We're used to this. I'd say something like, oh, it feels like we're playing whack-a-mole every hour. A problem pops up here, we solve it. A problem pops up there, we solve it. Really cheeky little responses. But then I realized that wasn't doing anybody any good. People were actually asking because they cared. They wanted to know how they could apply some of those strategies to their own disruption. And more importantly, those cheeky responses weren't serving my team well. It wasn't giving credit to them for all they were doing to move goods around the world so that you and I had access to masks. Hospitals had access to all of their equipment and testing supplies. We were able to purchase our pet food and that elusive toilet paper, right? My team was able to do that. So I'm going to share with you tonight how I've been getting through the perfect storm of port congestion, trucker shortages, cybersecurity threats, remote work, skyrocketing fuel costs, unpredictable tariffs. It just keeps going and going. And I'm hoping that it will help you at some point too. So even before the pandemic, it's always been a 4-part formula, and it's super simple. Keep doing what you do best, get better, be the hell yes people, and share the love. These 4 directives, as simple as they sound, 16 words, provide me with a daily touchstone. They provide me with guidance when I'm going off the rails, and I hope that they will help you too. So let's get started. Do what you do best. One of the great things about grad school is you've already started to figure that out. All of those group projects were telling, and that helped to guide you. We've all seen it. Almost every group had someone who became the project manager, someone who dug into the data, because they dug data, someone who jazzed up the charts, someone who didn't sweat at the idea of standing up at the podium. You self-selected based on what you do best, almost instinctively. Because when you focus on those tasks that you do well, you build energy within you. You get more accomplished because you're not wasting your time, talent, and energy trying to do something else. You know you have limited resources, so you naturally focus on what you do best and let others do the rest. Principle of comparative advantage at work. Now, you need to be careful that you don't get pigeonholed because of this. You need to identify those specific, unique qualities that are making you stand out in those situations. Just because you're good at baking doesn't mean that you can only be good at baking. You're good at baking because you can follow precise measurements, you understand the chemistry of mixing ingredients, you are patient, you follow directions well. If that describes you, I'd like to partner with you at some point because it's the exact opposite of me and we could really tag team there. If you have problems identifying what your strengths are, ask your family and friends, ask your colleagues here tonight. They've seen you shine, and they would love to tell you when that was. You really need to get to know yourself so that you can advocate for yourself and get yourself in situations where you are gathering steam, going through energy, not wasting it. Because in the long run, that's best for you, it's best for your team, it can be best for the company, the industry, your community. Once you get that down, the rest is going to fall into place. Number 2, get better. As you start to lean into what you do best, you need to accept that you need to get even better. My favorite boss used to tell me, if you're not adding value, you're holding us back. Let that sink in for a minute. It wasn't warm and fuzzy, but you know what? It mattered to me, and I've really held that close within me. Simply doing what you do well is never going to be enough. You need to keep getting better at it. You need to find ways to add value through process improvement, innovation, or finding untapped markets. It's what's expected. I have some more good news for you. You're already ahead of the curve due to your time at Bryant. The challenges of a graduate program rewarded excellence. It was never enough to do what you had done to get you through your undergraduate degree. You had to get better at what you did well. You had to make your cases stronger, your data analysis more complete, your presentations more compelling, and your recommendations more enthralling. Those of you sitting here tonight are markedly better than when you started your degree. For those of us in logistics, getting better is built into our jobs. You have to love change, disruption, and uncertainty to truly love logistics. Because the frequent changes in the regulatory environment, the political environment, the technological environment, regulatory environment, just necessitates professional development. Add a pandemic to the mix, and we all had to become safety supervisors. We had to really heighten our cultural and emotional IQs. We had to keep getting better, all while we were trying to move freight from one part of the world to another. Number 3, be the hell yes people. I need to start with the word of caution, though. Being a hell yes person does not mean saying yes to every opportunity that comes your way. You will say yes when you can do it with great enthusiasm. You do it because it's going to rev your engines. You do it because it's a great use of your time and talents, and you do it because not doing it will drive you absolutely crazy. There are many who will tell us that if you find something you love, it will never feel like work. And I have to push back on that a little bit, because hell yes people know that there are some aspects of their jobs and of the roles that they play that feel like work. It is not fun to tell a client that their shipment got bumped in Shanghai. It is not fun to tell them that because that shipment got bumped, it's not going to meet Macy's deadline and they're going to eat the cost of those goods. But we can do it because we got the grit and the determination, and we are hell yes people. Number 4, share the love. Tonight is a great example of sharing the love. It started from the top of the program, and it will continue all the way to the end. When you share the love, it means you don't keep your talents all hidden away. You share them with others. And then you find ways to shine the light on your colleagues too. Success is not a limited resource. There is enough to go around for everyone, so we help each other out. I know you're done with homework and you're almost there, but if you can set a goal for yourself tonight, do this. Become active in at least one industry association and one community organization. Share your unique gifts with others. The researchers out there offer to write position papers for your industry association. The dog whisperers out there, go to your local animal shelters and help out. The number crunchers, maybe you can do the books for your town's historical society. The possibilities to share the love are endless, and you will never regret finding opportunities to connect to others in meaningful ways. After all, it's what we are all here to do. Thank you for the opportunity to be here, connecting with you today. I wish you all great personal and professional success. Thank you very much. Congratulations.